Welcome back to Boys and Ghouls Film Review, folks. I'm your host, Sarah Stephenson. This is my co-host, Mike Stephenson.
Hi, guys.
So today we are going to finish where we left off, where last time we were on this channel, we were talking about Pearl, the movie that was done in 2022. Now we're going to move into, it's the third installment of the X movies called Maxine.
Yes.
And this one is a continuation of the first movie, the one back in 2020, obviously.
Yeah, we were having a bit of a discussion there. So the first movie was based in, 1970 something or other?
Yes.
It's not mid-70s.
Yeah.
So the second movie was based about 30, 40 years earlier or something or other.
Yeah, a prequel.
More
or less.
And this one here is after the fact of the first movie.
Yeah. In this one here, it takes place in 1985. So this takes place exactly 6 or 7 years later after the whole incident at the barn.
At the farmhouse.
The farmhouse. And this focuses on our leading lady, Mia Goff, who plays Maxine, who is trying to break it into the big time
in Hollywood,
and which is difficult because sometimes when porn stars try to break into Hollywood, it's sometimes difficult because they don't see porn as an actual acting, career thing. Some people will take years to break into the industry.
What we were talking about earlier, before we today, that a lot of people started off in doing adult films, or posing for modelling photographs with no clothes on, or other things, and they still made it into Hollywood.
Yeah.
In a film industry, but it's a lot harder because some people don't want to take on that sort of person.
Yeah, because
I think, everyone's going to know you. Remember in Lucifer, the TV series?
Yes, vaguely.
They had the lady cop, what's her name? Was that Chloe?
Yeah, Chloe.
He's called a detective. Anyway, and everyone remembered her from when she was in a movie years ago called Hot Tub something or other.
Hot Tub High School.
Hot Tub High School. So she obviously went in one of those amateur movie, independent sort of things, which might have been a little bit, yes.
Grotesque.
And a bit rude maybe. And it stuck with her.
Yeah.
So she made it into the police force, but she may not have been able to get into a film industry based on the previous movies she had been in. So there you go. So what we're saying is there is a lot of people who've done it, tried to go in the wrong way, and you're never heard of again.
The back door, so to speak.
Well, not the back door, just the right path is always the best path.
Yeah. I actually took the liberty of actually finding out about some mainstream actors who did go through the porn area to try to make it break.
There's a difference between nudity and porn. I keep telling you this.
I know that, but that's what they said on it. They said, like Cameron Diaz, she mentioned she was in a porn-related video, and she would rather not, wants to put that stuff behind her because it was not the proudest moment in her life, according to her. But it didn't stop her from actually going ahead and actually making it in the big industry.
But she can act. It helped.
Yes, so it helped that she managed to act her way to the top to get her into the big time. While other actors, like some of the male actors, even got into porn.
You mentioned Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I did. And I mentioned Sylvester Stallone.
The Italian stallion.
And Jackie Chan, obviously.
Did he?
So they... Not just women, but men also got into that line of work. Whether they liked it or not, that's how they get into it.
Can we actually get into reviewing the movie?
Sure.
Okay.
So the movie is directed and written by the same guy again. So Mike.
Okay, produced, directed by. That's my bit. Okay, produced by Ty West. He did the other two movies, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Okay. Now, written and directed by. Now, produced by Jacob Jafke, whatever. Ty West, Kevin Turin, Harrison Crease, and Mia Goth is one of the producers. So, whether she's a producer, exec producer, or associate producer, this is produced by. So, and she's also the main star in this, playing Maxine. I like her. There's kind of something about her, but anyway.
She's got that
funny bit. She's a good-looking girl who can act. And but she doesn't look like a plastic Barbie.
Yeah. In this
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
last time we saw her, she had dark brown hair, I think.
Playing the Pearl one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And when in the first movie,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
in this one, she's got blondish hair.
It's obviously tarted up to make it,
Yeah.
blondes have more fun, hey? Especially when being stalked. Now,
go
I
on.
don't know how much it took to make this budget-wise, but so far, this only came out about,
Just
about a month
this
ago.
year.
No, I'm talking about months.
Months.
I think it was released about sometime in June.
Yeah.
No, July the 5th. And it's only been about a little over a month, okay? And it's already made 20 mil. So it's heading in the right direction. So
Yeah.
so pretty damn good. So going through that, I'll have word of it. Who are the players?
Yeah, even though it mostly focuses on Mia Goth, obviously, but the rest of the time, the rest are canon fodder.
Yeah, cannon fodder. Okay. Mia Goth plays Maxine Minx, the little Minx she is. Yes. Her, our leading lady. Now, I mentioned a couple other people. Where is it? Kevin Bacon. He plays a private investigator working for an unknown person who is of a low.
No mention names.
I'm not
yet.
going to say a low. He has, but the antagonist. He works for the antagonist. How's that?
That's better.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon is that. So he's sort of like the go-between type guy. And I won't mention anybody else here. Not out of disrespect. There's about another 20 odd people here.
Yeah.
But they're the two main ones. And there's another one here. I think her daddy. Where's daddy's name here?
Simon. What's his last name? Simon something or other.
Where's it? I can't find it here on my list. Okay. Oh, there it is. Simon Prast. P-R-A-S-T as Ernest Miller. And he's a TV evangelist.
Yeah.
And Maxine's a strange father.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah, I should mention, guys, in the first movie, the X movie, not the Pearl one, in this one, it specifically said at the end of that one that Maxine's father is the daughter to the guy on television who preaches against pornography and other stuff.
Hey, people all burn in hell. Yeah, well, that's what it was, yeah.
And he, even mentions her at the end of that movie, obviously.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Hinting a connection between why he's saying bad things about the porn industry, but then again, there's a reason for everything.
Anyway, we'll leave that alone. That'll start heading in towards the movie. What else?
You will see in this movie, unlike the other two movies, which took place was it New Zealand or Victoria?
Well, they were made in
New Zealand, yeah.
Yeah, it's made in New Zealand.
This one takes place directly in America.
In New York or somewhere, or wherever it's supposed to be, yeah.
Los Angeles.
I think, Los Angeles, yeah. Sorry.
Considering this is
Wrong
where
end.
the end of or beginning of major films usually start, or stories start.
Yeah.
If you want to make it big.
Because it's in Hollywood. I think they use Hollywood surrounds for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you even get to see?
Principal photography took place in Los Angeles for 7 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, there
You even get to see a bit of an Easter egg of Norman Bates' motel.
Yeah, they went to film a lot, and you saw Bates Motel and other things.
Yeah.
They were going through the film sets and whatever. And you're walking around the corner in a western town, then you're walking around in a city street. Yeah, It's I've never been to one of those before. I must go there when I get over there. Go to Universal Studios or somewhere, or
Mike, you asked me if it's still there. As far as I'm concerned, it has been moved around, but it's placed in a sort of a studio lot for tourism that's been done there.
What I said was I heard a rumour that it actually got damaged, burnt down, accidentally electrical wiring problem or something. It may not be there anymore. That's what I heard. I know it's been moved, but I think it's actually been accidentally destroyed. Yeah, I think. That's what I heard a couple of years or so ago.
Anyway.
You want to go into it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So the story begins a few years before, not be like Pearl years back to that period, but back to when
When
a younger
Maxine was
Maxine was a little kid who is tap dancing, and she's saying that she loves her father and she wishes to, make it big and stuff like that, and not take any and be. Well, her dad quotes lines to her, obviously.
He's trying to give a pep talk and he wants her to be successful and don't do things half-heartedly and
Yes.
all those good pep talk things and yes and
Yeah. Then
Yeah,
we
that sort
come
of stuff.
to the
And then-
present,
yeah.
in
Bit
where
of
we
a-
see Maxine in an audition where she's auditioning for a horror movie,
gee, I love them.
and of course they ask her all sorts of questions like her like why she wants to move on from pornography to actual acting in actual production.
Yeah, not just taking your clothes off and going yeah, instead of that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Don't go there, Mike. That's a
No,
little
I was
get
doing sound effects.
Yes. Anyway, so she asks them questions and even goes through a sort of bit of an audition where you get to say a few lines from the script.
Well, actually, she said they gave her the scenario, told her what it was, and I think she had to memorise some lines out of it.
Yes.
And she really blitzed it. She really got all the emotion and stuff and tears rolling. Yeah, she's really, really good. I would hire her.
Yes,
I would.
of course. As she's leaving, she tells the rest of the girls who are auditioning that
You might as well go home now. I got the job.
yeah.
I love that attitude.
Then we come over to I guess one of those the private pornography film studio, whatever's, where she's about to do her other bit of other job that she does.
Yeah.
Well, she can't give up that side of it. You
Well,
got to
not paid
have.
for the other job yet, so
You got to be
yeah.
paid.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You got to feed the cat, put the rent. Yeah, rent.
Yeah, of course, most of the girls that she's working with tell her about a sort of party or an audition in the hills somewhere. I won't go into details
Yes, rich investor type guy. Yeah.
Anyway, but she's not interested, and soon enough she gets a call from her agent. She has an agent in this one, where he tells her the big news that. Well, the first bit of news, she doesn't get the role in a music video that she wanted. But the other news she gives her is that she's got the role in a horror movie. So that's big news because she wants to make it big. She wants to break away from this whole pornography, filming and try to make it big as a movie star in Hollywood. And of course she does. And she gets the role as the lead, obviously. And she tells her friend at, I guess, the video store. He sells all sorts of manner of movies and stuff, and she's all excited for it, and she wants to make it big, like so many people have made it big, in the past who dabbled in that sort of thing. Anyway,
whatever.
While this is happening, her friend, and along with another girl who she knows who's also a dancer at one of those dance club thingy winks, is going off to
lap dance for summer, Yeah.
Yeah, she goes off to do whatever, and along the way, Maxine is when she goes down a dark alley, which is a lot bad, more than I think about it.
She was cutting across in between blocks, and there's an alley, yeah.
Yeah, a guy is stalking her, but luckily enough, she pulls a gun, and he finally backs the hell off. But she doesn't stop there. Technically,
No, she doesn't really.
She tells him to strip off, and she
Lay
crushes
down,
his
she
parts.
gets him to lay down on the ground,
Yes.
face down, and
Yes.
his little man is laying down there, and his little companions are with him.
Yes.
And these companions get trodden on and then ripped off, I gather.
Yeah.
So that was stopping stalking anybody.
Anyway, at first I thought this was all a dream, but no, it seems to have really happened in this scene.
But they did jump from that scene pretty quick, so you're not sure whether it's just fantasising or whether it's part of the film.
We see her much later with her friend watching the movie. Well, it's more of she's auditioned for the sequel to this movie. She's actually watching its previous one that was probably shot in the 70s. I don't know. I could be wrong. because it looks very olden, and I can't really say. Anyway, so she then gets a mail delivery of, I guess, a videotape video that seems to be evidence from a police, one of those police videos where and it turns out to be the porn video she did at the farmhouse with the, footage and stuff. And she doesn't know where it came from. Of course, she decides to, she's trying to figure out who the sender of this package is, obviously. And
together say thank you.
Yeah. We later find out that the two friends have been murdered and have been branded with a pentagram, a star on their face, and they're
carved into them or burned into them. Probably burned into.
I think they're
burned in. Yeah, it would have been like they brand cattle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was one of those. Yeah.
And of course, both policemen think Maxine may know the people, who may or may not know who the people might be, obviously, and they start asking her who the people might be she associates with. And I think Maxine is more worried that if she starts talking to the police, they'll find out about her past, like the farmhouse incident. That, of course, I guess she's not charged for any murders on this case, obviously. Aside from, I don't think they all keep thinking that they don't know who the identified party is, obviously, who might have did the murders, obviously.
Yeah,
I think they probably don't know the two, Pearl and her husband were heavily involved, and we don't, because there's no witnesses. Other witnesses.
No, everyone was dead.
Yeah, except for Maxine, who's the only living person, obviously. Anyway, then we meet this. She gets a letter from a detective asking to meet with her, who's Kevin Bacon's character, obviously.
Yeah, Bacon. Yeah.
He asks her to come to a restaurant, and he wants to talk to her. And he says that that his client wishes to meet her. He's a very wealthy and very influential person, and if she does not come forward, that tape is going on directly on, probably on the news somewhere, which I think shouldn't. If he's a real detective, no doubt, no detective or self-respected detective would definitely be posting this stuff online. He would be taking to court and having her arrested for charges of possible murder or manslaughter or both, or a hand in those crimes.
He's a private detective. He's not a detective for the police. Okay.
Yeah, and they
work differently.
Yeah, it seems that he's also knows about the identity of the night stalker. They mention a night stalker in this who is attacking girls and stuff like that. Anyone gets associated with him will get their heads lopped off, or not really lopped off. Also, in this movie, there is a lot of protests around the studio, ones that's like the ones you may have heard about in the 1980s, where they were protesting against sex and violence in movies.
Yeah, that sort of stuff, and Satanism and blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
and people were very
if you can protest about something, you can always find a group of people to do it.
Yeah, I think I've heard that sort of thing, like when they often protest against that Santa Claus movie. That's a horror movie, obviously, and people wanted it pulled from it because they thought it would give kids the impression that Santa was evil, even though what self-respected little kid will watch that movie? I don't know. Anyway, Maxine tries to keep it low as much as she could, and tries to keep. And of course, when she's doing she meets with the producer, I think, or director, who's in charge of the production she's in. They tell her to try to keep herself, keep her alert about her role, because they want her to make sure that she's on point when they start doing her scenes and stuff like that. Whatever stuff is going on in her life, they want it gone.
Fix it.
Fixed or moved.
Yeah, or you lose your job. There you go.
Yeah. She also tells her. Also, the detective chases her throughout the film sets, including the Norman Bates, location I mentioned, and of course, but luckily enough, a security guard escorted the detective out, because if you don't have a pass, you're not allowed on the set, right?
Exactly. Well, yeah, it's a tour, part of a tour. You don't walk you around. You go on a tour, but you don't walk around willy-nilly and do what you like. You could trash the place.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing when protests started entering the
No,
studio.
I think they're actually at the gate. And those buildings near the gate, I don't think they're actually inside the studio. I think they were protesting just outside the main gates.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, anyway, she tells her lawyer, obviously, about what's happening, and he says he'll try to be there for her to help her. Of course, when her producer tells her, get your stuff together because we don't have time to, you need to get whatever's off your back, off the set, off our production because we don't have the time to deal with your drama. So she then makes plans of luring our detective to her job at the dance club sort of thing. So she decks up in makeup and prepares to go to work. There, the detective follows her and he stalks her to the bathroom, taking out his gun and makes plans on shooting her, or maybe not shooting her, probably taking her alive or something. Anyway, soon enough, he sees that she made a daring escape through a window, or doesn't see it. We just see him enter the girl's bathroom and tries to knock down a few doors.
It's bugger. Oh, goodness gracious me, she climbed out the window. Yeah.
She then meets him outside of the club, and he gets knocked out, and he's taken to a car lot.
A junkyard.
A junkyard.
You know where the big metal compressor type things? Guess where his car is.
And her and a lawyer and her friend, they crush his car down to a cube. Well, not really a cube.
Well, they flattened it with him inside. All the blood came out and the dogs licked up all the blood and stuff. I think the idea was they're going to make it into a cube.
Yeah, he goes on about how he's an atheist, but he starts preaching, all that stuff.
He started praying.
Yeah, which makes me think, was he lying about being an atheist?
Well, a lot of people say, I'm an atheist, but it's really funny when an atheist is put in the corner and all crap's hitting the fan. Yeah. They remember they're a Christian.
Then, so later on after that, Maxine goes to her back to her apartment where she washes off her makeup and starts thinking. She then thinks back to the envelope he gave her with the address of the client he's referring to. Then she thinks back to all the girls that she's known, including a girl that she was that's working on the same project as her, who mentioned about a producer who's doing a party and stuff like that.
Up on the Hollywood Hills there, and she was wondering with the same guy. So she thought she would go and check it out.
So, and we also have the address on it, obviously. So she takes the address and heads to the hills. Meanwhile, the detectives follow her, thinking that she's probably...
She might know something.
Yeah. Soon enough, and she's heading inside this person's this place, obviously.
House, yard.
And she starts hearing sort of voices, or not really voice, a videotape of her when she was a little kid. And this is the same videotape we saw at the beginning, where she's a 6 or 7-year-old, where she's
about 11, something rather, dancing in front of the camera for daddy.
Yeah, and here we see it turns out the killer is her daddy, who wants to set an example of, to the world. Is that right?
So what he's doing, he's going after people who have strayed, who are in pornography and Satan type movies, and killing them off, and actually doing videos of him killing them off and doing exorcism and stuff. I mean, he's making evangelical snuff movie. How's that?
Yeah. Anyway, when she discovers the girl who she was going to work with on the film project's body, she finds it chopped up into bits inside a suitcase. A prop head. I mean, not the prop head. A head.
A head, a leg,
and leg, and it looks disgusting. But soon enough, she doesn't have time to. Well, she does have time reacting, but soon enough, her dad takes out a bag, one of those grocery bags, and throws it over her head, suffocating her. Not enough to kill her, just enough for her to pass out. Then we see her much later she's tied to a tree, and his followers or minions are dressed in white robes, not like the Ku Klux Klan either. I'm just mentioning it so you don't get confused with Ku Klux Klan stuff.
every ceremony and stuff like that has a white robe or a black robe or a red robe. They happen to have white robes because I think they're doing God's work.
Of course, her father is wearing a black robe, but then again, he's supposed to be a minister,
and they wear black.
And some of them do wear black.
In his case, he deserves it.
Anyway, he plans on making an example by filming it so he can prove to the world that what he's doing is for the best of the world. And he thinks that he'll put an end to...
A mock exorcism where he plans to kill his daughter anyway.
Yeah, so they start rolling the camera and the detectives are there, getting ready to start anything. And her father's all, cast out this evil demon, blah, blah, blah. But... she's got a gag in her mouth. How's she going to say...
repent. Here he is. How do you do that through a gag? Okay.
Yeah, you cuff... Yeah. And he's got this poker, which we mentioned earlier.
Not a poker. It's a branding
iron. It's a branding iron. With the symbol,
pentagram on
it. The pentagram. Yeah. And... how's he going to exorcise a demon if she's got a gag in her mouth? I don't know.
What did you say? I didn't hear you. Okay,
by the sounds of it,
I'm going to kill you.
By the sounds of it, her father is not, he's a few eggs short of a basket.
A few eggs short of a...
He's a basket case.
That's bad.
In other words,
he's not the full quid.
He's got he's
a sandwich of a picnic.
He's not playing with a full deck because, by the sounds of it, his stuff is the stuff of made up.
He's worse than what they are.
Yes. Anyway, I think more or less, in my opinion, he's trying to blame the industry on Satanism or
because they're glorifying evil and stuff. Yeah.
Anyway, soon enough, the police, the detectives,
they show up.
They show up and start shooting.
Leave that girl alone.
Yeah, and start shooting up the his minions and Ernest. Obviously, that's the name of the father, Ernest.
Yes. And the funny part is, all these religious guys, they're all got guns.
Yes.
So much for doing God's work, hey?
Tell me about it. Anyway, he tells them that the detectives are all part of Satan's big plan.
Yes, let's go, please kill them. Yeah. All right, okay.
But soon enough, his minions get shot down. He gets injured. He nearly gets burnt by the branding iron, obviously. And of course, he flees the scene while our Maxine, she pulls out a gun, a switchblade, I think it was.
A switchblade, yeah.
And starts cutting through the rope. Yeah, why she didn't do it before, I don't know.
Things are happening too quickly. Okay?
I know that, but she could have done it ever so... But then again, they were all focused on her. You needed distraction, something to get them not to pay attention to her long enough so she can cut the ropes. She eventually gets free, and one of the detectives chases after her father while she tries to follow too. Of course, one of the detectives, he gets badly injured in the stomach. He needs some...
stabbed,
yeah. While the other detective, a female detective, chases after her father. Of course, we see her a few minutes later where she has a crucifix lodged into her eyeball.
Yes.
We don't see it done. We just see it off screen.
Yeah. That hurt. Yeah.
Anyway, we don't know if they both survived. Does not matter at this point. I'm not sure. And then she soon approaches with a very big gun, and we see ahead a helicopter telling Maxine to drop her gun and surrender, blah, blah, blah. But then we cross over to much later where Maxine is at her audition video again and how she wishes to become a star. That's the end of the video, obviously. And there we see her much later where she's at an interview with... I don't know what, an interview with anyone.
Some interview on some sort of program on TV show, and blah blah this and blah blah that,
and where she's talking about how about the Night Stalker was her dead father, and she is she's the lone survivor, and I guess this. Much later, we see her on the red carpet where she's praised by fans and is meted with lots of reporters, and then we cross back to her father, who's just lying there near the Hollywood sign, and he's asking for forgiveness from his daughter. And of course, she says a line that her father told her one time about, what did she?
I can't remember. He's something. It says he's going to do it properly, or something. Not like those words, but see. if you commit to something and go for it. So, okay, I'm going to commit it. I'm going to kill you, Dad. See you later, bye.
She shoots him in the head, and then we cross over to much later where she's in a trailer where she's putting the final touches to her makeup and hair and doing the final scenes of her production. I know these scenes are all over the place, but I think that last scene where she's on the red carpet, I think it was her probably her dream, or she's having or fantasizing about what would become of her when she later on, obviously. And this one is just practically just the present, where she's now no longer having to deal with her father in her shadows, and now she can continue her acting career and looking forward to the next big thing in her career, obviously. Then we cut to where we zoom out and the credits roll, and we watch as we go over to the Hollywood sign, which says Maxine instead of the usual Hollywood sign. And then we fade up to the sky, and the credits continue rolling. That's
fade out
it.
time.
And that's fade out.
Yay.
What do you think of this movie? I'm a little conflicted about it myself.
Conflicted? In what regard, my child?
I don't know. I wouldn't mind if there was more red herrings in this production.
Well,
it was pretty clear that
It was
pretty clear that Kevin Bacon's role, he was pretty much playing just an accomplice, or not really an accomplice.
He was working for somebody.
He was working for the killer, but he was keeping.
But the funny part is,
he was not doing anything.
when the movie first started, when the naughty parts first started, and you saw this man with gloves on and stuff, you didn't get to see who it was, and I thought straight away, I reckon it's her dad, because in that first movie, he was a nutcase priest, pastor, minister, whatever, and I thought, well, maybe a couple of years later, she's still in the business, and I think he wants her out of the business one way or the other. And I was right at the end, which was good. In some ways, it was a little bit predictable.
I know.
However, I'm going to say this. I did like the script. It was good. It does work in for the trilogy, because the first one was 6 years prior. And we won't mention Pearl, because that was a prequel about the lady that she killed. But Mia Goth was in that role as well, and she is a damn fine actress, and she carried this role on quite nicely into the third film.
Yeah, there's mention of a fourth movie from Ty West. He mentioned that he might be making a fourth movie, and I do wonder how he's going to continue the story, considering we had a tie with the fact that her father, obviously, that was her tie into the continuation of the story. But now, that particular...
wait, I got some extra information. He was... Okay, back in earlier this year, he mentioned he was working on a fourth film. Very, 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 very early in the piece, thinking about it. Storylines. However, in August, this month... he stated he's happy with where it is now, so it's unlikely that there'll be a fourth movie.
Okay, we can leave it at that, guys.
No, he's happy, but he may, if he can figure out a good storyline to keep it going. If you don't get something and beat it to death and have a movie say it's so shallow and where do you go from here? Maxine's father, who was a stalker, is dead.
Yeah, and Pearl has gone out of the picture.
Pearl's out years ago, so
if this was like another Chainsaw Massacre movie, at least you could probably beat the crap out of that. Yeah. I mean, in that one, at least you were able to.
The detective's dead, and his client's dead, and who's going to chase after Maxine? So, it's. I think it's a good time to end it now, after the three, and make it just a nice, neat trilogy. Yeah.
Anyway, I do think that I did like the fact that in this one we do dive into a little bit more about the 80s, how people were trying to break into the industry. Some people
hasn't changed much.
Some people would get hired because of their acting talent. Get noticed on the stage or plays and stuff like that, and then get the big break in a production, or maybe not. It probably takes a lot longer. Some of them, I hear stories in Hollywood, not the pornography ones, but ones that deal with actors who struggle for years to break it. And then they finally do break it, and then they manage to become the most wanted face in the industry.
The right time, matter of timing a lot of times.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we go. Critical response.
Okay.
I like those sort of things there.
It's like here.
Okay, right. It's mixed.
Okay, let's hear this.
Okay, one of my favourites is Rotten Tomatoes. Yay! 72%. Out of 263 reviews, though.
Okay.
Not 2 reviews. Yeah, so, and that seems to only been going about a month. That's quite a lot, and most of those are positive. What else? Metacritic, about 64 out of 100, based on about 50 critics. Cinema Score gave the film an average grade of B on an A+ to an F scale. And it says here, up from Pearl's B-. So obviously some people didn't think Pearl was quite as good as this movie. So there you go.
That's okay.
I liked Pearl actually.
It had a certain feeling behind it. Which
Post-Track gave it 76%. There you go. So there you go. So a lot of these guys have given it a pretty good review. And in the first month it's May 20.
Right.
Don't know how much it cost. I'd say it's probably breaking even now. So it must be going to make a lot more money out of them. So they'll be very, very happy with the end results. Now, a couple of critiques myself about the film.
Okay, here we go.
Not bad ones, necessarily, not really bad. Some of it was a little bit disjointed. When it flashed from scene to scene, with Maxine doing an imagination bit of the part in the alleyway. He didn't know whether this was imagining it because he was out there walking through. Quick cut, she's asleep in someone's unit or flat or something rather. Was she dreaming that, or was it real? And don't know. So there's some parts there didn't flow the way I would like to see it. I'm not saying it was wrong, but I'm just saying to me there's a few things like that. And when they jumped around near the end. She's standing there looking over at Dad, then she's fantasising about something, and she comes back to Dad, then shoots him, and then she goes somewhere else. There's a couple of things there. You're saying, well, what's happening? The police said, put down the gun, and blah, 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 warning her to put down the gun, and then she shoots the father, and the police don't shoot her. Now, a couple of things, that to me doesn't make sense. So, yeah. A couple of little things like that. But apart from that, it was good.
There might be a chance that maybe the detective survived and may have confirmed that these guys were not cult members, but more nuts, basket cases, who were trying to prove a point, which they're all loonies.
Anyway, look, tell you what, no, it's not a bad film. I mean, it's good. I'm going to say it's fresh. It's not copying anybody, and that's why X was okay. It was a basic film. Okay?
Yeah.
Pearl was not bad. Carried on the trilogy because there's a lady who died at the farmhouse. The old lady said, "Oh, you look like me when I was young," and it went back to when she was younger and her history.
And like you said, she resembled her to a T, even though she is
same actress. And then this one here is six years after the killings at the farmhouse. And I think the storylines work well together. Yeah. So the writers and the director, Ty West, he's done a good job.
Yeah, so if he can't find any more loose ends to tie up,
I think it would be best
fine.
if he leaves it at 3 and then move on to a new project.
Yeah, just exactly.
Because otherwise he could... The next movie might be sort of just trying to milk the money out of it and go, well, but I'd like to see Mia Goth and other things.
Yeah, I would like to see her in some other stuff, playing a likable character, because I still don't...
I don't mind.
I don't like Maxine's character much. I don't like her nasty attitude.
She's a poor girl trying to make it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't like when she crushed that man's you-know-what.
He deserved it. He pulled a knife on her, stalking her.
But he may have killed him, or practically castrated the poor thing.
He did. I think the idea is she trod on his scrotum and probably ripped his balls off. Pardon the language.
It's still
but he deserved it. You don't say, I'm going to stalk you. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah.
Yes.
I was only joking. Was he really joking? Probably not, Because it's not saying you don't take a knife to a gunfight. Well, he had a knife and she had the gun. Mm-hmm. She didn't shoot him, she just trotted his nuts. You know, that was it. And squashed them and probably ripped them off and stuff, so he can't hurt anybody anymore.
Not to mention, she killed that detective. I mean, even though...
Oh, he deserved it.
He
He's
deserved
a real turd,
it,
he was.
but she didn't find out who... She could have found out that time who the identity of the person would have been that way.
Yeah.
Maybe find out if...
I would. I said before, if you want us to not trust you, who was your client? Your daddy. Good, trust him now. Bye.
Yeah, instead of just pull the lever and just bam.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know. I mean,
I liked it, and I'm going to give it a 9.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10 myself.
Yeah, 9's good. I mean, it's a good film. It's filmed well. The storyline's pretty damn good. Like I said, it's fresh. Mm-hmm. Instead of the same old you normally get, people running around every decreasing circle, someone getting killed, yada, yada. It's fresh, so it's got some new ideas in it, which just makes it, to me, more attractive to the eyeballs.
It's people like Ty and a lot of other people I know who play it up for a new type of story, a new type of audience that I really appreciate a lot, because I don't like repeats.
Yeah, the guy did that... what's that really after a weird name. He did Old, the one that on the beach.
That one I don't mind.
He's really good. He just goes along, does something. He doesn't copy any ideas, just makes something fresh. It might be weird, but it's fresh.
And the good thing about that is that these particular filmmakers, they don't do
They're not copying
sequels. They don't do prequels. Not unless they want to continue the story.
Yeah, if they develop the story a bit longer.
And find a sort of a way to knot the story together with another movie.
Yeah, but no, I like some of these guys. They've got fresh ideas, and I like to think they're going to be the new...
people that lead the industry.
Scorsese's, Lucas's, and all these guys. If they're getting old now, and they can't keep doing it, so someone's got to take the place eventually. Yeah. And I like to see some really good guys like this come up and actually strut their stuff and make some really good product.
Yep. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that movie. I'm sad to say I don't think it's made it to DVDs yet.
No, it's only started, but it's only been out.
It's only been out a couple of weeks, so I can't really say at this point
wait
where
a minute.
we can get
I can tell you. Believe it or not, you can't. It's my job. Now, it's actually just, I believe, come out on eBay and Amazon and stuff. Okay? Yes, eBay, you can get it. It's for sale. Amazon, it's rentable and it's for sale, even up to 4K, I've noticed.
Cool.
Now, I'm going to say here, watch out. There are a lot of posters for sale intermingled. There seems to be more posters than there are DVDs. So when you're clicking on stuff, make sure you click on the DVD and not the poster. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah. But no, it's a top little movie. Again, couple of things I didn't like. I only like from jumping scene to scene occasionally, but that's just me. Apart from that, a good fresh storyline. And Mia Goth puts up a good job as this nasty little piece of gutter trash who's making her way up into Hollywood. Yeah,
I wouldn't mind if there were a few more red herrings in that one.
So we didn't. Yeah, but the thing is, we didn't know who the antagonist was, but we guessed who he was.
Yeah, I just mean like the fact she's estranged from her father. We know that from both movies that she's estranged from him, and no doubt he would probably have his reasons to search for her, or not really search for her, or he's disowned her, or has forgotten about her.
But at the end of the first movie, X gave the impression that, okay, he's an evangelical TV ministry type guy, and rah.
It would have been interesting if somehow, maybe in the restaurant scene, that her father would appear after the detective found out where she was, and he asked her to come home then. And
it would have. I would have had a nice cameo type thing of him coming in there as a concerned daddy and as a nice guy, Mr. Nice Guy type,
to make you feel like
he's a kind, caring daddy, and then find out later he's a slasher killer. It's
exactly.
That would have been a slightly better way for me. Yeah.
And of course, she says no. no, forget that. That crap. I'm not interested, and I'm making it on my own without your help or
See you later, bye.
Yeah,
And
I would like
then
it.
he could develop his.
Yeah, exactly. I
his
would like
nastiness.
something to
Yeah,
tie
yeah,
that
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of thing. Unlike other movies where people would definitely show two sides to a different personality.
With Jekyll and Hyde.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. And this
Two-Face
one,
and Batman.
this one didn't show me that, obviously, unless they
Nah.
were trying to tie it in with the first movie,
Well,
show
what-
the
yeah.
concerned, very religious father,
Yeah.
and how his daughter ran away from home to pursue a line of porn and acting and stuff like that. And he was tying that in with the acting
and he
industry.
dragged some of his parishioners who had been
Probably lost a child
who lost
may have-
children to the industry, or they walked away from the church, or got into pornography, or prostitution, or whatever, and that was his flock. Mm-hmm. And they were his film crew.
Yeah, funny that.
Making a snuff film, really damn good, eh?
Yeah.
So talk about his flock.
Yeah, I don't think you could be able to distribute that film.
No,
that
I
film
think
he was trying to
the
do.
idea was he was going to stand around, look, I am a religious man and I'm fighting evil, and he's going to
Release us
let it
fifth.
go, whatever. So having said that, we've rated it, we've done whatever, we know we can get it, so let's get the flock out of here. I
good one.
thought that was funny.
That was a good one. Anyway, so you know where to find it, and you know our thoughts on it. Now it's up to you guys to actually see the thing and get your own thoughts out on
No,
paper.
it's a good watch. Actually, I looked at the rental price. I mean, the rental price is a bit high. I'd just go and buy it off eBay. eBay's probably the cheapest at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So go in there, have a copy, get a copy, buy it, and have a look at it. It's be cheaper than renting it.
So, guys,
Hmm.
we are probably looking at checking out that new Beetlejuice movie that's next month.
Yeah, that'll be coming up soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard of a private viewing of it, and I'm hoping to secure some tickets for me and Mike here. So
And we're going to go see see
Yes.
if Michael Keaton can still
Yeah.
study stuff.
I want to see it before everyone else, so I can actually don't have to worry about Wikipedia spoiling it for me.
Yeah, they throw too many Easter eggs in there and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
tell the whole story like we do here.
I want to see it with a fresh perspective, with a fresh brain, and
Oh, I've got a brain. Okay.
yes. Anyway, so that's about it from us, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this latest episode of our podcast.
Well, I did.
And we'll see you guys for next time on this channel. So this is Sarah Stephenson
And Michael.
saying see you guys around on Boys and Ghouls Film Review. Bye for now, and have a good week.
Bye, guys.